of Sig and Altair, I believe. Altair. We have Seamus, who I believe is, I know who that is. That's I think that's Daryl, if I remember correctly. The previous Protoss player. Meanwhile, we have Seamus up against Ragnar. We have Bjorn waiting for the winner of Belmioja and Teardrop. We have Farmy waiting for the winner of Rebellion and Mucus. We have Percival up against Percival up against Luciano, and we have Nicoract versus Vindicta. So for the most part, the round of 32 is wrapping up, and we're getting into the round of 16. And here we go. We're jumping into our second series of the broadcast this morning. In the bottom right hand corner of Pylon, we have the red Terran player. We have the red Terran player himself. Representing the Platinum Heroes, it is Nicoract. And spawning in the top left-hand corner, we have his opponents. We have the blue Terran player, himself, the American Terran, representing Platinum Esports. It is Vindicta. Go. And if you're in the chat, you know what time it is. It is Gamma time. Predictions are open. Place your bets on who you believe will claim the series. Best of luck in the chat as we do settle on in. So you are going to be moving out. So far, we have our double gas opener out of Vindicta, double gas opener out of Nicoract. Now, when it comes to our setup, when it comes to our match coming into this, this is going to be quite a close one. I think we can lean towards Nicoract in the sense of being the slightly favored player, but I can see a world where Vindicta can claim the series here. Vindicta, of course, nowadays, he is part-time. He's a part-time player. He got a full-time job. He does stream. That is true. He streams for fun, but he's no longer competing or committing anywhere near as much time as he did in the past. So Vindicta, he is a little bit more casual in the sense of how he approaches StarCraft. I mean, that can benefit him. Like, hey, we saw you Thermal. He's been making a lot of content. He hasn't been competing, but he had a crazy performance at Home Story Cup, for example. So, like, again, he still is a force to be reckoned with here. We'll see if he can bring it to Nicoract. Let's go. As for the time being, again, because of the double gas, faster factories going for the late CCs. CCs now going to be on the way on the natural base. Buenas noches, papi. Buenas noches. I can't believe Pig would want to hang out with his newborn and not cast SC2. Crazy, papi, crazy. yeah, a lot of figures, I would say, in StarCraft now slowly forming their families. You know, we have Dark, of course, infamously. We have Trap as well, right? Trap. He also retired this year because now he has, I think, a daughter. I think he also has a daughter. I'm not too certain, but also he's a pappy. Pig. Jaime, of course, led the charge. That's still the most crazy one. That was still, I loved that one with Jaime announcing that he's gonna have a son. Jaime. Another. We are going to be pushing in. Nice mind shot here out of Vindicta. Takes down the first Hellion. Does take him down despite that. Nicoract trying to force his way through. Does go for the Reapers. Does bully back Vindicta. Breaks through that front line. Boys, they come in for the surround. Cute move there by Vindicta, hiding the workers in that CC, but despite that, the Reapers are overwhelmed. Yeah, they take down all the Reapers, take down all the Hellions, and with that, Nicoract, he can micro his harder, he can focus on his CVs, and this is getting out of hand. Once again, I love that Vindicta, he's making use of that CC, hiding his workers, does preserve them, does keep them alive, but the army is not there. He needs more time for the Cyclone, and SCVs are going down. Mining is being denied behind this, and Nicoract, he is freely mining from his natural. He has mules, of course, as well, so he will have the greater economy. Does have that economic lead. And so far, a strong start for Nicoract. He's up to SCVs. He's up to workers, and of course, he's been mining this entire time. He has extra mules, so he does have a nice lead, and he's not done. He's moving out. He's moving out with this drop play. You have 4 Marines, a Cyclone, and of course, the Reapers that can also jump into the main. He is ready, though. He's in position. Despite that, please add 2 Marines. I just remember Bob De Nino. yes, that's the one line that I remember. Oh no, Bob De Nino. Yo, his chat was savage. It's crazy. from here, Nicoract, he's going to be setting up back at home. And honestly, he had a good start. Running it back here as he is going to be deflected. Nicoract, he bled out Reaper Hellion, which does not scale well into a longer game anyway. He was able to get worker damage, able to deny mining time as well, able to pick away at the Marines. So a slightly better start. This isn't game-ending damage by any means, but in a mirror matchup, every little bit counts. Every little bit does count, so Nicoract does find himself with a lead. It's going to be up to Vindicta to recover. And you can do so in TvT. I mean, it's heavily based on positional play, so you can outposition your opponent. You can go for drop play, you can be the first to siege, you can first to get volleys off as well. So there are going to be a lot more avenues here, a lot more comeback potential available to Vindicta, but it's on him to make that happen. It's on Vindicta. Scan reveals a 2-1-1, soon to be 3-1-1 setup. No mech. Thankfully, third TC is halfway done for Nicoract. Meanwhile, third TC just now beginning for Vindicta. Again, he's one step behind, and a lot of that is because of the economic disadvantage as well. So he's slightly behind when it comes to eBays and upgrades, slightly behind when it comes to his third TC, and behind when it comes to his second and third racks as well. And here comes Nicoract. He's got 3 tanks, got his mass buyer. So ready to move out. He does push him to the bases. The Ravens can help defend. True, that's the one advantage that Vindicta has, is triple Raven. Nicoract, he has none. So Migs, he can disable. He's pushing forward. He wants that first tank. And he will get within range. Here comes the stim. Oh! Yeah, does stim in. So far, he's going to be deterred. Tank is picked off. So a better fight for Vindicta. As you have the tank still holding onto that energy. But behind this, Nicoract gets a third. He was posturing, he was containing, and he gets a third base. Third base is getting up and running, so still enjoying that greater economy. And now he's getting further ahead. Earlier, it was a slight economic lead, but now he has a full base mining over his opponent. Double jump here to the natural. Migs trying to keep up. Likewise, the Raven does barely get away, so he does defend. Honestly, a better cleanup here from Vindicta. This was, what, 2-3 full medevacs full of units. Sorry, 2 full medevacs full of units. Going to be going down at the same time. Nicoract does try to force his way in, and oh, he takes down the tanks. The tanks are going down. Now getting within range of the gas geysers, and Migs is just getting bullied further and further back. It's getting forced back. Tanks building up. Close to be going up. Up. Likewise, doesn't say what the tanks say on siege in time, so quick moves there. The Nicoract saves the tanks. Liberation has arrived, and again, he will eventually break out of this. But by then, is it going to be too late? Mage army in. He's up with the Marines. The Ravens out of energy. But Liberators, they will bully this back. And again, Vindicta, he will break out, he can eventually expand, but by then, Nicoract, he should have a fourth. As Nicoract still rallying forward. Still rallying across. Okay, there we go. Now he's forced back. Now Vindicta can expand. And Migs, he has to play it slow at this point. He has no drop play either, right? He's going into Mass Viking. He has Mass Viking, Liberator. He has no medevacs. He has no drop potential. He's reliant on these big head-on fights. On this air control as well, which can work. As Migs, he will overwhelm Nicoract, he should not be here. Yeah, the Marines, they stim on in. Orders hearts as well, tanks are going to be going down. And Nicoract, he does overextend. He will lose 1, 2, 3, and lose almost everything. Oh my god. Again, Nicoract, he just got a little bit too cavalier. He should not have taken that fight. He did not have the Marines to sustain his army, to support his army. And Vindicta does hold. Again, better fights for Vindicta, which he's been needing to pull off. Meanwhile, does establish his 3rd base. Nicoract, thankfully, behind this is getting a 4th CC, so he's still going to be up in expansion. But again, Nicoract, he got too excited. He got a little bit too excited there. Has to pull back. He now no longer, I believe he no longer has the tank lead. Yeah, he no longer has the tank lead. So Migs is up in tanks. Meanwhile, Nicoract, he does have the buyer, right? He has the Marine count in his favor. We have Vikings in position to deny drops. Speaking of does boost in, oh no! Does boost in is going to be denied. Thankfully, Nicoract does pull back in time. Meanwhile, the main army rotating on the right-hand side. Nicoract denying mining time, not bad. Does get across the map. He's slowly building up. Again, slowly just defending. Like, Nicoract, it's on him to camp. It's just on him to camp, to turtle up, and to max out. He's down 30 supply, but he's slowly catching up. Yeah, it's still a lot of Marines. Does have a lot of dive potential. But once again, Nicoract, he should not be pushing into these bases. Like, there's no need. There's no need to push in. Not like this. Looking for an opening. I will say that the natural's looking a lot weaker. There's only 1 tank. There's only 1 tank really covering the natural. Depending on the angle. Nicoract, he rotates. He scans. Liberator still being annoying, but it's finally going to go down. Liberator does fall. Nicoract trying to get into his own Viking production, but again, he's just so far behind in the Viking count specifically. So he's got some catching up to do. Nicoract, he does pivot out on the right hand side, looking for a 4th expansion. Looking for a way in. Both armies are now maxed out. Vindicta, he successfully turtled up until he's maxed. Baiting the army in. Oh, good. Does bait him in. And yeah, Nicoract, he should not be here. Massive stable. Once again, a really rough fight. There was no need to push in, papi. Ay. Tank count gets reset. Vindicta does dominate that fight. Do see a bio army here on the right hand side, looking for another way in. And I would say now is the time for Nicoract to push out. Like, that was the fight he was waiting for. He resets the tank count. Now would be the time to push, as he's giving Nicoract time to recover. But it does feel like Vindicta, he's more concerned with just expanding, getting another CC. I do think there was counterattack potential there. I still think there is. As Nicoract, he's down to 3 tanks. He only has 3 tanks. But I guess the Mass Marine is threatening Vindicta. If Vindicta were to push, I think the best chance for Nicoract is force a base trade, and for him to just stim into the bases and try to go for the natural, go for the 3rd. So maybe Vindicta is a little bit concerned about that. On top of that, he might believe that, hey, Nicoract, he's taken 2 bad fights in a row, maybe it'll just happen again, and maybe there's no rush for Vindicta. As he's getting to his 3-3 upgrades. Nicoract does rotate. Migs, he's late to respond. And this time he is late. Tanks are exposed. Getting 1 tank. Just the one though. And Migs, he should take this fight. Did lose a tank and a liberator. So did lose a couple of key units, but overall, like, Nicoract, he's still just kind of aping into the army. Now, behind this is going for triple starport. He's going into triple. He's going up to quintuple. There's going to be 5 star. You can see them all here on screen. There's going to be 5 starports here setting up for Nicoract. With this, he can go into mass Viking. He can go into either mass Liberator or BC production. With all these tech labs, he has potential, but it's going to be a Raven. So he's going mass Raven. But again, like right now, Nicoract, he's at his weakest. Right now, he's vulnerable. And Vindicta, he's just been turtling. He's just been turtling up back at home. I do think he has potential. He can be aggressive. He can be active. We can move out. We don't have to stay at home. And the act of staying at home is allowing Nicoract to do this, to get into all these Ravens, to research these upgrades, and to go for that tech switch. Nicoract has been given a lot of time. And Migs, he's none the wiser. He's getting into his own mass Raven. He does fan out. Get a kill. Jesus. It's a kill, not a cancel. And again, he's still just turtling, which I think was necessary earlier. I should emphasize this as well. Like what Mix has been doing here wasn't necessary for the first like 12 minutes of the game, but in recent times, I would say that there should have been a little bit more urgency here for Mix to actually break out and be active on the map, because I believe BCs have been accumulating. Yeah, we're slowly building up BCs, right? This is like the kill move. The win condition for Nicoract is to buy enough time for BC production. SCV is going to be thrown away. Marines being thrown away as well. Again, we're just freeing up supply here for more battle cruisers, more of an air army. And Nicoract, he's finally refining his forces, getting into that more ideal late game. Vindicta is not. Migs, he does have Mass Viking Raven already, but I'm still not fully convinced here. So Migs, he's got 12 Vikings. He's down in Vikings. Already, he's down in Vikings. He has more Ravens, which will help. But he could do with throwing away Marines and getting more Vikings. So he does have a lot of Marines. Migs is finally being active, at least somewhat. There we go, there's the Unsiege. Now he's finally pushing. Scan doesn't see much. He's trying to scan, trying to get everyone's going on. Mass Viking coming in. The Ravens. One Raven does not go down. Barely not. There we go, going for Mass Autotarts. Goes to go for the Mass Disable as well. The spells so far are solid. And the Marines, they stim in. Yeah, they stim in. It brings out every single tank. What about the Vikings? I mean, there's not enough anti-ground, but there are BCs. Yeah, the battle cruisers are coming in. GG gets called. Vindicta, he does break through. He does dominate the fight. And Vindicta will take game number 1. Whew, GG. GG, well played. I was worried he was taking too long. That he was giving Nicoract the time he needed to build up those BCs, but no, he did hit just at the right moment. I say just at the right moment because of his superior Raven count. He was able to disable all the BCs, disable all the tanks, or anti-armor missile the Vikings, and throw down the Autotarts. The Ravens did so much. The Ravens were the MVPs there, and with that, Vindicta does overwhelm. GG. Vindicta takes game number 1. And a really impressive performance here by Vindicta to come back from behind. Vindicta did have a really rough start. He had a worse start. He was in a worse position. He was down in workers, down in economy, down in army. Like he was pinned against the wall. But as we were trying to emphasize, Nicoract with his lead, what did he do with it? he was overly aggressive, and he took some really rough fights. He took like two worst fights in a row where he lost all of his tanks, he lost all of his marines. He didn't have to engage in such a way, and it allowed Vindicta to turtle, to recover, to build back up, and to eventually max out. And here we go. We're getting into game number 2, and spawning in the bottom left-hand corner of ley lines, we have the red Terran player, the red Terran himself representing Platinum Heroes. Down in the series, we'll see if he can bounce back. It is Nicoract. And spawning in the top right-hand corner, we have the blue Terran player. The blue Terran, you have the American Terran representing Platinum Esports. It is Vindicta. Go. Just catching up in the chat. Yes, they get you in the chat as well. But yeah, it makes he had a really impressive performance. And again, he was taking better fights, he was taking better engagements. He was able to build up into a better army sooner as well. And we'll see how Nicoract will adjust his approach. Will he be more aggressive? Will he be more aggressive and try to end the game earlier and press his advantage? Or is he going to be a little more macro-oriented, where he takes his lead and then he takes his expansion, then he starts to tech up a little bit better and takes a bit of a slower approach to the game to build up into that Sky Terran a lot sooner. But now, as V's are moving out, we do have our double gas open out of Vindicta. Once again, double gas out of Nicoract. Opening up double gas, going for faster factories. So if I were to see Nicoract does get the initial SCV, does get one. From here, pulls away, does save his Reaper just barely. Behind this, we'd have a reinforcing Reaper coming in as well. I mean, I should say that for both players. And Migs, he does take this fight. He does force back Nicoract. He's forced back, has to back off. Behind this, getting to their own 1-1-1s. We do have mirrored builds in general here. Even though Vindicta was taking that fight, Nicoract did kill the SCV, so it was a slight lead here for Nicoract. Nicoract does have the slight edge, and it's going to be on Vindicta to recover. On Miguelito. Also, do apologize, but it is very cold here. It's very cold, so I'm just trying to warm up. It's winter in Australia. It's a cold morning. As Nicoract once again trying to force his way up the ramp, but Vindicta, he will take the fight. And he will clean up. Yeah, we'll clean this up. Nice control, does start to step forward. Heli volleys going off. And Vindicta does have the better trade. Este Miguelito. Pulling back, once again going into Ravens. We do see that this time Nicoract doing the same. If you recall, last game he avoided Raven production for quite some time until the late game. But here is opening up with Raven a lot sooner. Does open up a lot sooner. As we're building into the same direction. A lot of this will come down to the unit control, will come down to the engagement. Like, who's able to move in first? Who's able to get the disables off first? The positioning of the tanks, the positioning of the Cyclones even. There's a chance that maybe Migs, he can maybe pick off the Raven. Which would be crazy, but he's poking in. Pokes out. See Migs flirting with the idea of catching any of these stray units. I'm loving the repositioning of this tank. Nicoract pushing forward. Bait him in! Oh no! Yeah, it does bait him, does take down one of the Cyclones. And he wants the other, he will get it as well. Better trade here for Nicoract. Baits in Vindicta, takes down both Cyclones. And this third CC is halfway done for Nicoract. Migs beating out a Hellion as well. These have been some rough trades here for Vindicta. Oh, and he spots the move out. Okay. He does what he has to make a choice. Does he attack? Does he defend? Where are we going? As Nicoract has no idea. He has no idea. They will run into each other. Ooh. Yeah, Migs, he gets caught out. And this is too much. Yeah, he's losing far too much here. Forced around auto turrets. He has to get out. Oh god. The tank. The tank does fall. And Migs, he's hurting. He's hurting so much here. He's racing back home, forced to spend, forced to waste his energy. Now, he did actually preserve a little bit of energy on those Ravens. But it's still a much stronger fight for Nicoract. Now, unfortunately, he has no disables left. He has no interference matrix. So he cannot break through this position. But he gains map control. And we've been here before. He gains map control. Now he gets a faster third base. Nicoract, does he try to force his way in or does he play it slow? Snipes. Oh, they do trade Vikings. And I like this here for Nicoract, he backs off. he backs the hell off. Remember last time Nicoract had a lead and then he threw that, he lost that lead. So he was overly aggressive. So we just gotta calm down. Just gotta calm down. Take it slow. Focus on containing the Terran. Makes, I mean, he does kind of win the battle in the sky, I suppose. Oh no, we do have the unsiege in time. Yeah, Nicoract, he does get away. Saves his tanks. And clutch moves there from Nicoract. That was a waste of 2 disables. Every disable counts. We need to slowly claiming his third. Go double drop into the main. Migs is not in position to stop this. He's not in position. Distracted by the main army. Here comes the double drop into the main. Does drop in. From here he does catch a couple of SCVs. 1, 2, 3 SCV kills. Dives further in. They're trying to make a stand. But mining is being denied. He will clean this up. Losing 4 SCVs in the process. Nicoract rotating over, looking for a way in. Does disable the tanks. And Migs, he shouldn't be able to hold on here. Yeah, forced to lift. Oof. He can maybe up to land his Viking. Oh, no, not even. No, we're just rallying. We're just rallying across the map. Nicoract denying the third. Stimming into tank fire, but two of the tanks are unsieged. The cleanest trade here from Nicoract, but not bad. It's two tanks. Takes on two tanks, fourth CC is on the way. And this is the Hail Mary play here for Vindicta. He sends all of his Marines across the map. With this run by, I was going to say, if there's no planetary, he can kill this CC and deny mining. With the planetary, these Marines, they can't do much. Not to this base. No with repairs. He stims in. Yep, he sees a planetary. He has to avoid it. He runs into reinforcements. Oof. And Nicoract will take this fight. GG gets called. Nicoract ties up the series 1-1. We are going to the ace match. Whew. GG. We're going to game 3, and I did like this Nicoract a lot more. This time he took a lead, he got ahead, and this time Nicoract, he did not force the issue, did not force these fights, did not try to force his way into the natural. He was a little bit more conservative with his approach. He was backing off, he was giving Vindicta a little bit more room to breathe and not being as assertive to be able to catch him out at the third base, dropping into the main as well. With that, he was able to take it. Let's go. With that, he's able to tie up the series. Now we're going into the ace match. Okay. Getting into the ace match here. Going to be loading into Maganatha. Let's go. Let us go. Meanwhile, the rest of the bracket is progressing. So, well, Jesus, we're the we are in the TvT section of the bracket. So, we got some catching up to do. For sure. For now, we are finding ourselves in the ace match here of the round of 16. Again, we know what to jump into, Pappy. We know. As spawning in the top left-hand corner of Maganatha, we have the Red Terran player. We have the Red Terran for the Platinum Heroes. Tying up the series 1-1, it is Nicoract. And spawning in the bottom right-hand corner, we have the Blue Terran player, the Blue Terran, the American Terran, representing Platinum Esports. It is Vindicta. We go. So we're calming down as we are settling in. Here we go, as we do have our initial double gas. So double gas opener here out of Vindicta, likewise double gas at Nicoract. Once again mirrored builds, and welcome on all to Maganatha. Maganatha is the largest map in the map pool. If we were to slow the game down and end up in a longer macro game, this is where we could see that, and I do feel like Vindicta probably is favored in that kind of scenario. If he can slow the game down, if he can max out, if he can camp and turtle, then he will be at the advantage. I mean, at least based on what we've seen in game 1. I'm sure Migs, he wants to get there again. We'll see if he can. Let's give him a maxed out army. I will say that it will be a little bit more difficult because even though, yes, the map is large, that also works against a defending player. Specifically, the third base, the fourth base, the fifth base as well. As you can see, they're very spread out. So you spread yourself very thin defending your 5-base setup here on Maganatha. So as a result, it can be difficult to actually keep up with army rotations, keep up with drop play, keep up with multi-pronged aggression and harassment. If we get there. If we get to that late game. from here we do have our 1-1-1 from both sides. And we'll see how aggressive we're going to be as we do commit here into additional Reaper Hellion. Likewise, Vindicta also going into Reactor Reaper Hellion as well. So he's building up his own army count. Last game we saw Vindicta take the better fight. We'll see if we can do it again. As Nicoract is going into earlier Cyclone production. Just try to move in. Nice control. Pulls back the Reaper. Does pull back one SCV goes down, denies some mining time. As Migs, he will claim this fight, he will overwhelm. Once again, he shuts down Nicoract. Nicoract, he did kill an SCV, he did deny a little bit of mining, he did delay the CC, to delay the orbital, but he will lose the army. He will lose the army, now it's time to counterattack. Migs, it's on him here to try to punish. Where we have one Cyclone to defend, and one Cyclone's not going to be enough, he can focus it down, and Nicoract, he has to evacuate. He has to just evacuate, abandon the natural. Good reaction, good response. He pulls away, otherwise that would have been, what, 6 SCVs going down. Reapers, they bust into the bases, they take down the Marines. But doesn't keep going. Oof. Now Loken is brutal. Cyclone defense. That's still going to be 2 SCV kills and denied mining time, so still some okay damage here from Vindicta, but I'm sure he was hoping for a little bit more. Sure he was hoping for more. From here he pulls away. Oh, but God damn it. I didn't bring it up. We've been avoiding mech so far this series, but only for so long, as we have Macville accelerators on the way. Nicoract, he's going to be getting here into additional Cyclones. Let's pick up here from Vindicta. Does get a Cyclone. Does catch one. Still rallying in. Disables already. He can disable that Cyclone. He can, and he goes for the auto turret. Oh, he breaks through the Marines. Yeah, breaks through every Marine. SCV is going to be going down as well. Nicoract, he is in danger here. Does get the lock on. Does snipe the Cyclone. That's still 4 SCV kills at the same time across the map. Banshee does get into the main. Ooh, did get into the main. Okay, 2 more SCVs as well. Again, both players are trading. We're getting a little bit messy. Migs, he has not seen the main base. Behind this, we're getting into not just Banshee, we're getting into Hyperfire Rotors. So we're going into Battle Mech with Banshee support, which means we're not stopping Banshee production. More Banshees are rallying across the map. And we'll see if Migs can keep up. This Banshee's making his way in. So we do have Nicoract going back into the main. Oh, at least trying to. And nice control. He does pick off. Oh, barely picks off the Cyclone. The Banshees are so very low. Cyclone goes down. Catching out more SCVs. Oof. Losing one. One Banshee does fall, but so far not a bad trade here from Nicoract. As he's actually not getting into mech. Interesting. He was going into Macville accelerators. He invested into Hyperflight Rotors. But no, he's switching into Bio from here. This is a little bit risky just because everything is late. The 1-1 upgrades are delayed. Stim is going to be delayed. Everything here is delayed in favor of the commitment early on into Cyclone and into Banshee. Has it paid for itself? We've gotten some value out of it, that is true, but I would say that Nicoract, he wants more. I would say that he does want more. So far, he's killed 7 SCVs for 3 Banshees. Jesus, like, these are expensive losses. Losing Banshees. Liberator into the natural, gets 1 SCV. Makes he already has stim. Getting into his own upgrades. We'll see if we can catch out those Cyclones. If he can catch him out, he can gain map control. He could maybe threaten the third base of Nicoract. There we go, he gets one. Just the one. That's the other scary thing here, is that because of all the Cyclone production, Nicoract is behind in tanks as well. True. No, so not just behind in bio upgrades, but also behind in tanks. Oh, so Raven barely survives. Catching up more SCVs in the main. Still going for his own double drop. Nicoract still being hyper aggressive. Ooh, and Migs, he wants to move out. Uh-oh. As Migs moves out, so the Cyclones, they move in. They're catching up more SCVs. Migs just going right down mid. And we could end up in a really weird scenario here where Migs, he could actually break the natural. Sure, there are 4 tanks to defend, but that's what the Ravens are for. So Migs, he can actually break this army, but at the same time, we might end up in a base trade. There are Cyclones harassing, that's true, but also the double drop, right? The double drop into the natural. Natural is exposed. Makes he scans, he's moving in, he's going for the third TC. And the workers, they will get away. Makes he's going for the command center instead. At the same time, back at home, that's the first medevac goes down. Yeah, miscontrol there from Nicoract. Oh no! Tank low is going off. Makes holds. Makes he holds, he defends. Again, he ran into the turrets. Yeah, you can see here, 1 kill on the turrets. Tanks are late to siege. Here come the disables, getting one. Getting one of the tanks. Nice auto turrets, buying more time. Migs, he does take the fight. Again, the Ravens here are the MVPs for Migs. Ooh, Nicoract going for the Doom Drop even. He is spotted. He is spotted. These tanks have to get the hell out of here. It's too late. And we'll have to trade. Not trading for. Oh my god! Wait, what just happened? Oh my god! Wins the fight as well. The Doom Drop does nothing, and Vindicta, he will take the series 2-1, and he will advance on to the next round. GG. Happy. I see a Doom Drop landing on 4 tanks. I expect the tanks to die. What the hell? Oh my god. I guess they were spread out well enough. Obviously, there were auto turrets, right? Auto turrets were thrown down to help. A couple of Marines were trickling in as well, but that was a surprising fight that went Vindicta's way. I don't blame Nicoract at all for dropping on the army like that. That should have been the death of Nicoract, at least of that. Oh, sorry, of Vindicta, of that army. But no, Vindicta, he was able to hold on, able to take that fight. And again, was able to sneak out across the map. GG, well played. It was a bold move from Nicoract. Remember, I was concerned about his build. He went for Macfill accelerators. He committed into early Cyclones. He went into Hyperflight Rotors with his Banshees, and again, he was behind in so many aspects as a result. He was behind when it came to his bio upgrades, when it came to his bio, he was behind when it came to his tank production as well. He invested heavily into Cyclones, into Ravens. I don't think it was quite worth it in the end, and unfortunately, he missed the army move out. I mean, that was the big factor, of course. He missed the army move out. He lost his 2 drops across the map. GG, well played. Whew. And with that, Vindicta, he does claim the series, and with that, we're getting into our next round. Here we go. Exclamation mark B in the chat, so have to have a look back yourselves.